At midnight, on a deserted road called Highway 67, a man in his 30s was driving back from a family visit. But he didn't know that this road was known by the locals as the road you should never take after midnight. He only found out why when it was far too late. My name is Mark. I'm 35 years old. One cold winter evening, I decided to visit my family in a remote village about 4 hours away from the city. Everything went fine until I made the mistake of heading back late at night because I had work the next morning. I asked my dad, "Is there a shortcut I can take back?" He said, "There's Highway 67, but no one drives there at night. People say it's cursed." I laughed. "Come on, that's just old legends." I left after midnight. The cold was biting, almost unnaturally strong. The road was completely deserted, no cars, no gas stations, not even a single light. Just darkness, and the sound of my tires on the asphalt. About an hour in, something strange happened. I saw a woman standing in the middle of the road dressed in white. Her hair was long, her face completely hidden. I slowed down, thinking she needed help. But as I got closer, she vanished. Completely gone. I stopped the car, shocked, got out, looked around. Nobody, not even footprints. I got back into the car, turned the key. Nothing. The engine wouldn't start. Then suddenly the radio switched on by itself. I hadn't touched it. And from the speakers, I heard something. A girl, crying. The crying turned into screaming. Then a man's voice came through, whispering, "Go back, before the road closes on you." I was terrified. I tried the engine again, and it finally started. I hit the gas and drove as fast as I could. But the strangest part, it felt like I was going in circles. The same tree, the same sign, the same curve. I checked my phone, no signal. It was like I'd entered another world. Then, in the rearview mirror, I saw something. Someone was sitting in the back seat. I couldn't turn around. I just felt it, its breath, its weight, its presence. And then, darkness. I blacked out. I woke up the next morning, sitting on the side of the road. The car was dead. A group of people had found me, and they told me something that still chills me to this day. They'd seen me parked there for 2 whole days, but to me, it felt like only one long, terrible night. When I got back home, things didn't go back to normal. At night, I started hearing whispers, and sometimes I see her, the same woman in white, standing outside my house, watching, waiting. Since that night, I haven't been the same. Highway 67 isn't just a road, it's a doorway, and once you drive through it, you never come back the same. One dark night, a young man named James was driving his car on a deserted desert road outside the city. It was very late, and the road was long and lonely, with no streetlights, only the car's headlights cutting through the darkness. James was on his way to meet friends in a nearby town, but he decided to take a shortcut he had heard about from co-workers. It was a shorter route but known to be dangerous, because many accidents had happened there. After driving halfway, James started feeling something strange. The atmosphere around him felt heavy, and the wind sounded unusually loud. Suddenly, his car stopped abruptly, for no clear reason, even though everything seemed normal on the road. He tried to restart the car several times, but it wouldn't start. While he was struggling, he heard footsteps coming from behind him. The sound was steady and clear, as if someone was approaching fast. He slowly looked back, but saw no one in the darkness, even though the footsteps kept getting closer. His heart raced, and fear overwhelmed him, so he decided to open the car door and try to run. The moment he opened the door, he saw a woman wearing a long white dress. Her long black hair covered her face, but she didn't move. She just stood there watching him. Khaled tried to scream or move, but his voice disappeared. He felt an intense cold surround him, and the air around seemed heavy, like the whole place had stopped breathing. Then the woman suddenly vanished, leaving behind a terrifying silence. James went back to his car, tried the ignition again, and this time, it started. He sped away, feeling like something was chasing him. When he reached the town, he told his friends the story, but no one believed him. They even said that road was known for the appearance of the White Lady, the spirit of a woman who had died there years ago. After that night, James vowed never to take that road again, and he never forgot that terrifying experience. In 2003, a young man named Daniel was driving alone on a remote desert road, heading back from work at a distant oil site. The road was long, empty, and silent, surrounded by endless sand and scattered utility poles. Not a single sign of life. It was well past midnight. The night was cold, and his car radio wasn't working. Suddenly, he noticed something white in the distance on the side of the road. At first, he assumed it was a plastic bag or a cloth blown by the wind. But as he got closer, he realized it was a woman standing alone in the middle of the desert. She wore a torn white dress, and her long black hair completely covered her face. She stood still, completely still, like a statue. Fear took hold of him, but he slowed down, thinking she might need help. As he passed by, she suddenly turned her head toward him, revealing a pale, expressionless face with eyes completely black. Empty, soulless. Terrified, Salem screamed and slammed on the gas pedal, racing away. But just a few minutes later, to his horror, he saw the same woman standing in front of him again. He slammed the brakes and nearly lost control of the car, but when he looked again, she was gone. When he finally made it back to camp, he was shaking and refused to ever take that road alone again. A few days later, an old man asked him about the incident. After hearing the story, he said, "That road has a history. Years ago, a woman died there in a tragic accident. They say her body was never found. Since then, she appears to travelers who pass through alone at night." Note: this story has been passed down by truckers and night drivers for years. Many claim to have seen the same woman, dressed in white, long black hair covering her face, appearing only in the dead of night, and always in the middle of nowhere.